Hello folks, I'm the Red. This is Hollywood Animal, and last we left off, we had finished production on The Heartless and the Hero, which was our movie with the Toxic Avenger, starring the Toxic Avenger. Well, you say starring for the character, starring Pete Hodges as the Toxic Revenger. Set in Victorian times, so that we can, have him pass through the ages. That was the real reason I had it set in Victorian times, so that we could film multiple movies where he's like, we change the setting continually. But it's gonna come out soon, and then we're gonna start writing the scripts. In the meantime, though, we still gotta produce other movies. Keep that money rolling in. Start production on this thing. New script. A Heart on Fire. This was one of the sequels. Yeah, cowboys don't do well with romance. Also, I'm gonna start this project here, and you actually want us to shoot on location if we at all can. It looks like we can shoot the entire thing on location. So why don't we do so? Filming tech, give me the Hespro. It's just significantly cheaper. Our bandit. Oscar Morris. Playing the bandit. I'm gonna say... I'm not gonna give it to you right now if you don't want it. 4 weeks. Let's call this 20%. 3,000. Okay. 3,000 is gonna be fine. I mean, that is... Well, actually, you do have some theaters that we can offer there. It Lurks in the Darkness. This is another sequel that we recently wrote. Okay, let's start this too. I'm gonna hold on it, actually. Hold another banquet. And Oscar, actually, it'll be easier if I check from this direction. Oscar is working on Retirement Rush here. So it lurks in the darkness. You don't really want a soundstage. Filming tech and sound tech can remain the same. Oh, this did not populate anyone. So Elbert is once upon a death. Your key witness is a new character. And then producer and director can be worried about later. So Elbert, basically both of these are going to get started at more or less the same time. Something you didn't know about Charlie? New script going into production. Security officer. Sure. You're not otherwise. I'm not otherwise having you go and breaking kneecaps or anything like that, so. It's fine. Wow. Wow. I did not realize how trashy these trash elements are going to get. How specific, too. I'm gonna hold our two writers to write sequels to The Heartless and the Hero. Yeah, head of engineering, town with no name. We're releasing this. Your 4% of 500 and distribution. I don't want to care about this. Town with no name is getting... Actually, 3 stars is pretty solid as an opening, but then... 3 stars here too. Here also. I didn't hear anyone level up. We had some maxed out previously. Spending $1 million on promotions. Script department can now do up to 9 story elements. I mean, do we go straight for 10? Worthy successor. If you create a movie sequel, receive bonus continuity or fresh take. Receive bonus novelty. Doctor, we could speed up writers. I mean, this is fast. And I'm willing to spend to get it real fast. 15% on writers, yeah. I mean, that'll affect the Hero and the Heartless series. 11% of 2,000 is 200. Set up distribution. You're going 300 on all of these weeks. Even if there's a storm tomorrow, another script getting written. Shelve this project. And we are letting our writers come off. I'm deliberately letting our writers come off working for a little bit so that we could get them all working on these scripts. Go ahead and shelve this project. The blue term Iris is going to go defunct. 30%, so 3,600. Let's go 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Our Superior Concert Hall. Faster, faster, faster. I really don't know which one actually takes the most time. I'm gonna let that sit for a hot second. Wife's permission. This is a good script. Terminate contracts with half the buyout. Give me 5-year contracts. You're at 12 weeks and distribution. Do analytics. There we go. $500,000 spent on this. Start post. And then, yeah, film development is 54 days. Music. Film development takes the longest. All I need to know. So I'll spend everything I can speeding this up. Genevieve. Wow. I instead said hotel suite? No. Just get you a car and driver and you'll ask for nothing. Okay. You're not modest or anything. Self-importance. You just don't have a lot of self-importance. Okay. Edward Conway. You do have a little more self-importance. Chris Decker. Gail Haynes, our legal executive. A Wisconsin farmer is threatening to sue us for stealing the name of his goat cheese. Along with the threat, he sent us a whole wheel in the mail. The label reads, Red Wolf Studios, a 1925 Great Churn, Chalice Award-winning, aged, semi-hard cheese. You name your cheese Studios? Okay. He demands that we rename the company or pay him compensation. I'm from Wisconsin, the heart of American cheese, so I know a thing or two about it. I'd like to say that Red Wolf Studios is a worthy product, and this farmer has something to fight for. I doubt he'll just leave us alone. I mean, if he can date his cheese production to before we started using the name. The thing is, and I'm not sure how much this applies in the 1930s, but modern day, there would be no standing for a legal claim here, because the legal precedence for forcing someone to change their name is that there has to be some confusion among the products. So if you are, for example, a company which makes burgers that called yourself Burger King, and there are companies that did that, like restaurants that called themselves, I think it was McDonald's actually in Ireland, but there's precedent there of like, hey, you're making the same product and using the same name. No one's going to confuse a cheese with... No, you know what? No, I refuse. It's too dumb. No one's going to confuse your cheese with us. That's the legal requirement, is that it be something where you can confuse the products because of the same name. So again, young men, young women. But everyone dropped off the same. There was a peak here. Why was there a resurgence? Oh, this was not a... This movie had a lot of problems. What I am gonna do... Nope, not the thing I meant to click on. Well, I mean, I reached for it and clicked on it, but... If I want another illegal... Yeah, we still have enough. New trash. Robber with 1,000. I underestimated the trashiness of this trash. Once upon a death. Okay. Set up distribution. 14% of 4,000 is 400, 600. Let's call it 1,000. Come on, 1,000. And once upon a death. So it was Elbert here. It lurks in the darkness. This movie, Emma, you can work on it. Work on it with Vincento. It lurks in the darkness here. Albert, you're reprising the role, right? Lurks in the darkness, detective. Betty Lim, the damsel, got cut for a key witness that I think I'm gonna give to Hazel Rice here. Producers, Scott can be one. Director, Herbert. For another producer, pull up the actual right chart. I'll give it to Kevin Foley. Everyone's in their correct roles. Let's start this project. A Heart on Fire. Okay. I'm gonna scrap this from the start. Let Retirement Rush. Let this court case go through. Retirement Rush. Didn't cost us that much to make. Start post. Editor. Gonna be Bobby here. Merrill. Use all our internal setups. And then what I want to do is start a project here, A Heart on Fire. Cinematographer, Chester, you're gonna get a soundstage. You're actually not going to use the soundstage, though. Let's take it off. Yeah, I'll pay you to go through. Cinematographer. Okay, I don't like that you popped out because we've had issues with this in the past. Okay. Cowboy. Wait, what? Who played the cowboy? Pete Hodges. Is he not available? Pete Hodges. And then it was Lydia that played. She just started. Okay. I'm gonna cancel this project in its entirety. We're gonna start something else instead. West Haven. Spanish Castling. There's a lot of movies here that we can't do purely because I'm gonna go with finding your man here. I'm gonna give it to Jasper. He's gonna want to shoot the whole thing on location, which I guess we're gonna let him do. Filming tech. Take the Hespro. Producers. Got director. I'm gonna go Herman. Our detective. Howard, you're a star. A damsel in distress. Joanne, that's your role. Key witness. I grab. Thank you. If I went to free actors, you're young, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I want the key. I don't know why. Oh, actually, okay, but you're so much cheaper. I saw another actor that was a little younger, but this guy is so much cheaper. I said instead of the car, we got you. There we go. Andrew Henry. Let me go. Put you there. Our serial killer. I think I'm gonna give it to Genevieve. I mean, yeah. Well, 40 days. Patsy. No, serial killer, I would prefer someone artistically inclined. And this is the more artist of the two big things. Okay, we got 2 movies going into production. The Heartless and the Hero. Gotta be the Kino mark. Bone Grinder didn't like it. No one's gonna like this. It's gonna get B's. It's gonna get 2 stars all around. I mean, it's trash. That's the whole point, right? Condemned to Adventure. Bob Gray is in neither of these. So I can push this out. We're looking at a Clumsy Oak versus a Murderer. Look at the Murderer just being right behind him. I'll place you here. We'll go 18, 16, 14, 12. Irvine's not going to get it done in time. I'm fine paying a little more. And honestly, actually, with that in mind, maybe I should push it back a week. Anyways, advertising is not for boys, so set our spread. It's what I'm going to use. Apply this, and then change your distribution, switch over to Irvine. It's going to get pushed. And we're going to push forward our advertising campaign. And actually, we can trim a week off this side here. First week, the hero and the Heartless and the hero made money. But moreover, if I go create a sequel, The Heartless and the Hero, we can start writing our sequel right now. So, I mean, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to be doing this for a hot minute here. Sorry for the audio cutting out, but it's nothing. But it's necessary for me. Sorry for the audio cutting out. It's necessary for me to pull up anything on my other screen, which I can't hold a good number of names of in my head at the time, and I don't know why, but when I try to think generic name, I just pull. Nothing comes to mind. I just full blank. I'm gonna just name it the Toxic Revenger. For our Heartless Bearcat, Walter. For our Femme Fatale, Elizabeth. And for our Damsel in Distress, Donna. You know what? That is like the title of the role. Maybe I should give him an actual name. Wayne. Everyone gets first names. No one ever calls anyone by their last name in this movie. I don't remember how this movie ended. It's easy enough to rename anyways. So, how'd the last one? The antagonist got punished. So Walter got punished, But he didn't die or anything. And we can add another thing. We're gonna keep the social rejection. I'm gonna drop the curse deal. Saving the beloved. No. I mean, yeah, sure. Saving the beloved. Saving the damsel in distress. And, let's have a betrayal. Otherwise, same actors. Screenwriter. Do I want to go? No. I was thinking of adding some historic. Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to add some historical elements. Then story workshop. Create sequel. So here's the thing. How long is this sequel going to take to write? 85 days. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to chop the movie down to just a couple of elements. Because that cuts down screen time, like that cuts down recording time. And I'm gonna have to research some. Okay. I didn't realize, I kind of had assumed that I would be able to write a series of sequels all at once. But I think what we're going to have to do is we're just going to have to continue researching and pushing down on these to get them faster and faster and faster until we get the 6 within 1 year. I mean, there's nothing I can do. Like, that's it. I thought I was going to be able to write a bunch of them all at once. Not an option. So, I mean, so like that's it. That's what I have to do here. I go by rating. The Amber Heart. This is our romance, our Western romance. Yeah, the original was pretty. It was produced by whatever, uh, and did well enough that I wrote a sequel to it, and I think. Is it really one of our best rated movies? And yeah, they have almost the same box art. Heart on Fire is already in production. Silent Storm. This is going to be the action movie. So let's give uh let's give that as a sequel, and we're gonna be writing a couple of sequels here. Write a sequel. Rating Silent Storm. Our soldier. Again, Pete Hodges played a lot of roles here. Sorry, what were you? You're our rival. I think I already used that name again, but sometimes that'll happen. There we go. Everyone's got the first name. Silent Storm, named that after well, actually a World War II game, but okay, so the antagonist got killed. Got a shootout and an ambush here. We probably want a new antagonist, right? I mean, this is a science fiction action movie. Let's get a robot in there. We can have another shootout. Ambush. I'm gonna go with a big battle scene. I'm gonna drop the shootout. And say a thrilling chase. Characters are kind of getting stale, but like I can't, I mean, I would have to change out significant amount, and I don't want to. Rather than the antagonist get killed, now protagonist overcomes self-doubt. I just feel like that's pretty meh. Let's have a downer ending. Protagonist's dreams get crushed. Joe, you write that one. We're gonna place our money in a safe deposit box. And we're gonna write another sequel. Something detective oriented. Again, buy rating. Cast a spell on me. This is a comedy romance. It lurks in the shadow. Already has something being written. Silver coins. Actually, it was historical. Rings on every finger. Search for the silver dagger. What don't we have for that one? Search for the silver dagger. Create sequel, buy rating. Okay, our detective, Oscar Morris. I'm gonna call you Mr. Silver. Gloria White. I've used the name White a lot. Let's just go with Gloria. Timothy, you're the help. Doug Luss. And I already gave Stevenson. No, I want Stevenson. Stephenson. Mr. Stephenson. Other than Mr. Daniel Stephenson. Cloak. Search for the black cloak. The antagonist got killed in the ending of that one. Let's keep the continuity there. He was a serial killer. There was no magical elements to this movie. Fatale. Hold on. There was some flashing over here on my screen, and I don't know if that was being picked up by the recording or not. I didn't have OBS up. My other screen. I had the names up. Let's go with a prison break. Drop the bank robbery. You're no longer avenging loved ones. Give me a shootout. Actually, give me a mob war. A thrilling chase and a betrayal. And as for a finale, protagonist rescues hostages. Betrayal coming from Gloria here. Let us add some action elements. Keep it in the modern American city. Give it to Maurice. And then, I know we're writing a lot of sequels here, but I mean, we're gonna have to do it at some point, right? Historical action was our next. Silver coins. Token money, silver coins. I mean, that did well, so let's create another sequel to silver coins. Wait, what? If I go back and I look at released movies, silver coins, protagonist, the working man, is Alfred Connor. Alma plays an evil witch. Malo plays... I can't tell which one's the rival. You play Femme Fatale. And then Patsy plays the rival. Alfred plays the working man in both movies. And Patsy and Malo both reprise their roles. Genevieve as the monster. I'm a little confused what happened there. I go create a sequel, silver coins, continue. I mean, I'm looking here and it's saying Alfred, protagonist. And I look here, evil monster. And then this should be Patsy, and this should be... Beetle. Cal. Yeah, so I go the Smith here. If I click on supporting characters, so the witch here, the Smith here, Baker. That's real weird. That's a little... That's actually very buggy. Which, considering that the number of times this character has died, the main character has died, it kind of makes a little sense that things are going off the rails. And so the protagonist took the witch with them last time. I'm gonna go family reunion. We're gonna go treasure hunt. A curse deal, thrilling chase. We're going to drop any pretext of historical elements. It's an action, adventure, maybe a little bit of horror in there. And a bit of romance. With the idea that it, you know, starts in the afterlife and he comes back again. Action writer. You're dropping the historical elements, but... Oh, and what I need is to put the others... back to work. Searching for new elements. And maybe what we should do is start one more here. A Heart on Fire is a sequel. To... A Heart Returned. Means Pete, Oscar, Joanne, Lydia. Yeah, we kill off. So, Pete, you're working on something right now, right? No, you're not. Lydia was working on something right now. Lydia working on, yeah. So I can't do all that. I don't think we have two women free. It's a shame to be alive I mean, sure, let's start that one. Cinematographer, Cornelius, why don't you do it? Get it on a sound stage. And refer it there. Get tech and sound working. Producers. Let's give Sydney here. Director. Will, take one. Hopeless romantic. Patsy. Our pirate. Chris Decker. I'm not producing that one to be good. I'm producing that one to get a script done. But we will be doing it next time. Yeah, I'm a little sad that our movie here, we're just going to have to work on it. We're going to have to figure out how we can get them faster and faster and faster. So it's going to be a lot longer than I thought it was going to be until we're going to be able to do this. Yeah, I can think of a couple of ways we can do it. One of them is we're gonna have to cut elements from the film until they're pretty bare bones, which I mean it makes sense, because I think that makes it faster to produce. We're gonna have to, have everything filmed real fast, and then we're gonna have to spend some money. Right here, getting writers to write faster and faster and faster. There's 15%, there's 30%, there's half the time, and we'll get them real fast. And I think so. We'll focus here. As much as I want to get this 10 story elements per thing, we'll focus getting writers working real fast. And we'll just keep going at it until it finally breaks and we're able to do 6 in a year. But that'll be that won't be next time. That'll take quite a few videos to do. But I'll see you next time. Until then, if you've enjoyed this Let's Play so far, go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you when we continue trying to break this Trash King studio system. We just crank out the trash. See you then.